A computer network is a set of computers sharing resources located on or provided by network nodes. Computers use common communication protocols over digital interconnections to communicate with each other. These interconnections are made up of telecommunication network technologies based on physically wired, optical, and wireless radio frequency methods that may be arranged in a variety of network topologies. The nodes of a computer network can include personal computers, servers, networking hardware, or other specialized or general-purpose hosts. They are identified by network addresses and may have host names. Host names serve as memorable labels for the nodes and are rarely changed after initial assignment. Network addresses serve for locating and identifying the nodes by communication protocols such as the Internet Protocol. Computer networks may be classified by many criteria, including the transmission medium used to carry signals, bandwidth, communications protocols to organize network traffic, the network size, the topology, traffic control mechanisms, and organizational intent. Computer networks support many applications and services, such as access to the World Wide Web, digital video and audio, shared use of application and storage servers, printers and fax machines, and use of email and instant messaging applications. Networks may be characterized by many properties or features, such as physical capacity, organizational purpose, user authorization, access rights, and others. Another distinct classification method is that of the physical extent or geographic scale. A nanoscale network has key components implemented at the nanoscale, including message carriers, and leverages physical principles that differ from macroscale communication mechanisms. Nanoscale communication extends communication to very small sensors and actuators such as those found in biological systems and also tends to operate in environments that would be too harsh for other communication techniques. A personal area network, PAN, is a computer network used for communication among computers and different information technological devices close to one person. Some examples of devices that are used in a PAN are personal computers, printers, fax machines, telephones, PDAs, scanners, and video game consoles. A PAN may include wired and wireless devices. The reach of a PAN typically extends to 10 meters. A wired PAN is usually constructed with USB and FireWire connections, while technologies such as Bluetooth and infrared communication typically form a wireless PAN. A local area network, LAN, is a network that connects computers and devices in a limited geographical area such as a home, school, office building, or closely positioned group of buildings. Wired LANs are most commonly based on Ethernet technology. Other networking technologies such as ITU-TG.HN also provide a way to create a wired LAN using existing wiring, such as coaxial cables, telephone lines, and power lines. A LAN can be connected to a wide area network, WAN, using a router. The defining characteristics of a LAN, in contrast to a WAN, include higher data transfer rates, limited geographic range, and lack of reliance on leased lines to provide connectivity. Current Ethernet or other IEEE 802.3 LAN technologies operate at data transfer rates up to and in excess of 100 bit/s, standardized by IEEE in 2010. A home area network, HAN, is a residential LAN used for communication between digital devices typically deployed in the home, usually a small number of personal computers and accessories, such as printers and mobile computing devices. An important function is the sharing of Internet access, often a broadband service through a cable Internet access or digital subscriber line, DSL, provider. A storage area network, SAN, is a dedicated network that provides access to consolidated, block-level data storage. SANs are primarily used to make storage devices, such as disk arrays, tape libraries, and optical jukeboxes, accessible to servers so that the storage appears as locally attached devices to the operating system. A SAN typically has its own network of storage devices that are generally not accessible through the local area network by other devices. The cost and complexity of SANs dropped in the early 2000s to levels allowing wider adoption across both enterprise and small to medium-sized business environments. A campus area network, CAN, is made up of an interconnection of LANs within a limited geographical area. The networking equipment, switches, routers, and transmission media, optical fiber, Cat5 cabling, etc., are almost entirely owned by the campus tenant or owner, an enterprise, university, government, etc. For example, a university campus network is likely to link a variety of campus buildings to connect academic colleges or departments, the library, and student residence halls. A backbone network is part of a computer network infrastructure that provides a path for the exchange of information between different LANs or subnetworks. A backbone can tie together diverse networks within the same building, across different buildings, or over a wide area. When designing a network backbone, network performance and network congestion are critical factors to take into account. Normally, the backbone network's capacity is greater than that of the individual networks connected to it. For example, a large company might implement a backbone network to connect departments that are located around the world. The equipment that ties together the departmental networks constitutes the network backbone. Another example of a backbone network is the Internet backbone, which is a massive, global system of fiber optic cable and optical networking that carry the bulk of data between wide area networks, WANs, metro, regional, national and transoceanic networks. A metropolitan area network, MAN, is a large computer network that interconnects users with computer resources in a geographic region of the size of a metropolitan area. A wide area network, WAN, is a computer network that covers a large geographic area such as a city, country, or spans even intercontinental distances. A WAN uses a communications channel that combines many types of media such as telephone lines, cables, and airwaves. A WAN often makes use of transmission facilities provided by common carriers, such as telephone companies. WAN technologies generally function at the lower three layers of the OSI model: the physical layer, the data link layer, and the network layer. An enterprise private network is a network that a single organization builds to interconnect its office locations, example production sites, head offices, remote offices, shops, so they can share computer resources. A virtual private network, VPN, is an overlay network in which some of the links between nodes are carried by open connections or virtual circuits in some larger network, example the Internet, instead of by physical wires. The data link layer protocols of the virtual network are said to be tunneled through the larger network. One common application is secure communications through the public Internet, but a VPN need not have explicit security features, such as authentication or content encryption. VPNs, for example, can be used to separate the traffic of different user communities over an underlying network with strong security features. VPN may have best effort performance or may have a defined service level agreement, SLA, between the VPN customer and the VPN service provider. A global area network, GAN, is a network used for supporting mobile users across an arbitrary number of wireless LANs, satellite coverage areas, etc. The key challenge in mobile communications is handing off communications from one local coverage area to the next. In IEEE Project 802, this involves a succession of terrestrial wireless LANs. Networks are typically managed by the organizations that own them. Private enterprise networks may use a combination of intranets and extranets. They may also provide network access to the Internet, which has no single owner and permits virtually unlimited global connectivity. An intranet is a set of networks that are under the control of a single administrative entity. An intranet typically uses the Internet Protocol and IP-based tools such as web browsers and file transfer applications. The administrative entity limits the use of the intranet to its authorized users. Most commonly, an intranet is the internal LAN of an organization. A large intranet typically has at least one web server to provide users with organizational information. An extranet is a network that is under the administrative control of a single organization but supports a limited connection to a specific external network. For example, an organization may provide access to some aspects of its intranet to share data with its business partners or customers. These other entities are not necessarily trusted from a security standpoint. The network connection to an extranet is often, but not always, implemented via WAN technology. An internetwork is the connection of multiple different types of computer networks to form a single computer network using higher layer network protocols and connecting them together using routers. The Internet is the largest example of internetwork. It is a global system of interconnected governmental, academic, corporate, public, and private computer networks. It is based on the networking technologies of the Internet Protocol Suite. It is the successor of the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, ARPANET, developed by DARPA of the United States Department of Defense. The Internet utilizes copper communications and an optical networking backbone to enable the World Wide Web, WWW, the Internet of Things, video transfer, and a broad range of information services. Participants on the Internet use a diverse array of methods of several hundred documented, and often standardized, protocols compatible with the Internet Protocol Suite and the IP addressing system administered by the Internet Assigned Numbers Authority and address registries. Service providers and large enterprises exchange information about the reachability of their address spaces through the Border Gateway Protocol, BGP, forming a redundant worldwide mesh of transmission paths. A DARNet is an overlay network, typically running on the Internet, that is only accessible through specialized software. It is an anonymizing network where connections are made only between trusted peers, sometimes called friends, F2F, using non-standard protocols and ports. Darknets are distinct from other distributed peer-to-peer networks as sharing is anonymous, that is, IP addresses are not publicly shared, and therefore users can communicate with little fear of governmental or corporate interference. Network services are applications hosted by servers on a computer network, to provide some functionality for members or users of the network, or to help the network itself to operate. The World Wide Web, Email 53 printing and network file sharing are examples of well-known network services. Network services such as Domain Name System, DNS, give names for IP and MAC addresses. People remember names like nm.lan better than numbers like 210.121.67.18, 54 and Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, DHCP, to ensure that the equipment on the network has a valid IP address. 55. Services are usually based on a service protocol that defines the format and sequencing of messages between clients and servers of that network service. Bandwidth in bit/s may refer to consumed bandwidth, corresponding to achieved throughput or goodput, i.e., the average rate of successful data transfer through a communication path. The throughput is affected by processes such as bandwidth shaping, bandwidth management, bandwidth throttling, bandwidth cap and bandwidth allocation, using, for example, bandwidth allocation protocol and dynamic bandwidth allocation. A computer network is a system in which multiple computers are connected to each other to share information and resources. Characteristics of a computer network: share resources from one computer to another. Create files and store them in one computer, access those files from the other computer, connected over the network. Connect a printer, scanner, or a fax machine to one computer within the network and let other computers of the network use the machines available over the network. Following is the list of hardwares required to set up a computer network. Network cables, distributors, routers. Internal network cards, external network cards. Network cables are used to connect computers. The most commonly used cable is Category 5 cable RJ45. A computer can be connected to another one via a serial port, but if we need to connect many computers to produce a network, this serial connection will not work. The solution is to use a central body to which other computers, printers, scanners, etc. can be connected, and then this body will manage or distribute network traffic. A router is a type of device which acts as the central point among computers and other devices that are a part of the network. It is equipped with holes called ports. Computers and other devices are connected to a router using network cables. Nowadays, router comes in wireless modes using which computers can be connected without any physical cable. Network card is a necessary component of a computer without which a computer cannot be connected over a network. It is also known as the network adapter or network interface card, NIC. Most branded computers have network card pre-installed. Network cards are of two types, internal and external network cards. Motherboard has a slot for internal network card where it is to be inserted. Internal network cards are of two types, in which the first type uses peripheral component interconnect, PCI, connection, while the second type uses industry standard architecture, ISA. Network cables are required to provide network access. External network cards are of two types, wireless and USB based. Wireless network card needs to be inserted into the motherboard, however no network cable is required to connect to the network. Universal Serial Bus, USB card is easy to use and connects via USB port. Computers automatically detect USB card and can install the drivers required to support the USB network card automatically. What is Internet and intranet, as well as discuss the similarities and differences between the two. Internet is a worldwide/global system of interconnected computer networks. It uses the standard Internet Protocol, TCP/IP. Every computer in Internet is identified by a unique IP address. IP address is a unique set of numbers, such as 110.22.33.114, which identifies a computer's location. A special computer DNS, domain name server, is used to provide a name to the IP address so that the user can locate a computer by a name. For example, a DNS server will resolve a name https://www.google.com to a particular IP address to uniquely identify the computer on which this website is hosted. Internet is accessible to every user all over the world. Intranet is the system in which multiple PCs are connected to each other. PCs in intranet are not available to the world outside the intranet. Usually each organization has its own intranet network and members/employees of that organization can access the computers in their intranet. Each computer in intranet is also identified by an IP address which is unique among the computers in that intranet. Similarities between Internet and intranet. Intranet uses the Internet protocols such as TCP/IP and FTP. Intranet sites are accessible via the web browser in a similar way as websites in the Internet. However, only members of intranet network can access intranet-hosted sites. In intranet, own instant messengers can be used as similar to Yahoo Messenger/Gtalk over the Internet. Differences between Internet and intranet. Internet is general to PCs all over the world, whereas intranet is specific to few PCs. Internet provides a wider and better access to websites to a large population, whereas intranet is restricted. Internet is not as safe as intranet. Intranet can be safely privatized as per the need. Computer networks extend interpersonal communications by electronic means with various technologies, such as email, instant messaging, online chat, voice and video telephone calls, and video conferencing. A network allows sharing of network and computing resources. Users may access and use resources provided by devices on the network, such as printing a document on a shared network printer or use of a shared storage device. A network allows sharing of files, data, and other types of information, giving authorized users the ability to access information stored on other computers on the network. Distributed computing uses computing resources across a network to accomplish tasks. Network security consists of provisions and policies adopted by the network administrator to prevent and monitor unauthorized access, misuse, modification, or denial of the computer network and its network accessible resources. Network security is the authorization of access to data in a network, which is controlled by the network administrator. Users are assigned an ID and password that allows them access to information and programs within their authority. Network security is used on a variety of computer networks, both public and private, to secure daily transactions and communications among businesses, government agencies, and individuals. Thank you for watching this video.